Back when I was a student nurse, I had an amazing experience. How many of you in here remember your first female catheterization? Not something that you forget, is it? It's my senior year, diploma school, 6 weeks to go. We're working as the free help in the hospital and doing our checkoffs, and they said, anybody want to do a female catheterization? Pick me, pick me. And I go up and introduce myself to the most pleasant 99-year-old woman, pleasantly confused. Strokes my ego by telling me, you're going to be an awesome, wonderful little nurse, you're wonderful. And I have to tell you, I'm feeling really good about this. I had absolutely no qualms. After all, I'd seen the video. I'd read the manual. I even did the return demonstration in the lab. I only had one concern. I had 3 instructors. 2 of them were awesome. The other one, though, used to teach through humiliation and embarrassment. And we lost so many students that year. But I bet everybody in here has had that person in their life who tried to put you in your place through humiliation and embarrassment and make you feel less than the amazing person that you are. So as I'm chatting with her, all of a sudden, in walks the dreaded instructor. I take a deep breath, and we start the procedure. And in this particular hospital, here's the procedure. You drape the patient appropriately, you raise the bed to a high position, and then you put a washcloth over their eyes. Because the last step in this particular hospital was to then flip a switch which turned on a beam of a searchlight. And I thought it was to protect the patient's eyes from the light. I also later came to appreciate as an instructor that it was to protect them from seeing what the student did. That doesn't help to protect them from what the student says. How many of you have ever heard that student trying to be encouraging, saying things like, "This is my first time. Hope it doesn't hurt." Very reassuring. So we had everything ready to go. I pull back the drape, and now is my first indication that the human anatomy looks absolutely nothing like the mannequin in the lab. I'm thinking, you gotta be kidding me. Where's the landmarks? Where's the opening the size of a garden hose? Oh my gosh. I look up and the instructor, he's tapping his foot. Tall, thin, skinny man, pale. He's letting me know he's got things to do, places to go, people to see. So I pick up the first catheter. I take a breath and, oh my. Oh. Strike one. And now he begins bobbing up and down, and he starts whispering and hissing over the patient. I can't believe you just contaminated that catheter. I'm going to have to open another catheter because you just made a stupid mistake. I can't believe what a stupid mistake you made. I want you to think about your stupid mistake when you start with the second catheter. And I'm thinking, no pressure. So he opens up the second catheter. I pick it up, and I'm thinking, okay, we know one place, it doesn't go in. Oh. Strike two. Now the man becomes apoplectic. And he's got these blue cords going down the side of his neck, and this little skinny blue vein that's curly on his forehead, and this little white foamy spittle in the corner of his mouth. And he's losing it. And now he starts yelling at me over the patient. He's like, I can't believe you just contaminated both catheters. I only brought 2 catheters into the room. I'm going to have to go all the way down the hall to get you another catheter. I can't believe your stupid mistake again. And he turns around and says to me, maybe while I'm gone, you should ask the patient where her urethra is. A little voice comes out from underneath the washcloth. She says, I don't know where it is. And And I'm thinking, that makes two of us. And upon hearing her comment, he became so incensed. He turns around, sticks his finger right in my face and says, "Don't you know where yours is?" And stormed from the room, leaving me in humiliation and embarrassment and a captive audience maintaining the sterile field. And I had time to think. And I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. How do I break it to my parents? With 6 weeks left of school, I'm not going to be a nurse. I'm too dumb. I'm too stupid. I'm a danger to mankind. He comes storming back in the room. I now have so many tears in my eyes, I can't see a thing. He whips open the third catheter. I pick it up. And I don't know whether it was divine intervention or the fact that I had obliterated all the possibilities. But I struck gold, so to speak. I taped it into place. He storms from the room. And as I'm putting away the supplies and I'm feeling so miserable about myself, so humiliated, ready to exit the profession, I'm putting the items away, and in this particular hospital, nobody had ever asked healthcare professionals about how to design a room. And so the supplies, you actually had to get down on your hands and knees and crawl inside the closet. I am inside the closet when the head nurse, Joanne Bringer, comes in. Doesn't see me inside the closet. She goes straight up to my patient, takes her hand, pats it, and says, "How's it going with your little student nurse today?" And I cringed, because I knew the patient was going to say, "She's out looking for my urethra." But before I could say anything, and before she could say anything, the nurse speaks up and says, "You know, she's the best student we have on the floor. You're so lucky." And I'm going to tell you about divine intervention, because if she hadn't come in and said something to lift me up, even though she didn't even know I was there, I can tell you where I'd be today. I'd be in Hannibal, Missouri. I'd be working at Kroger's grocery store asking people, would that be paper or plastic? And when I have the opportunity, every time I hear someone talking nice about someone, I run to tell that person someone's talking about your back, behind your back, and it's marvelous. Because here's what I've seen in my decades of nursing. I've seen people who've had their dreams. I've seen people who've tried to step into their own self-proclaimed success, only to have a self-appointed party of people come in with their little hatchets to come in and chop them off at the knees. And I say enough. I say enough. Let's have the opportunity instead to lift one another up.